Hello, everybody. My name is Jack Lyon with ML Capital, and today I will be showcasing how to complete a comps valuation. In this video, I want to go over three main things. The first is why you should do a comps valuation. Secondly, I'll be showing you how. And lastly, I'll be giving you the tools and templates for how to complete one on your own. So let's jump right into it, starting with how do you select what your comparables should be in a comps valuation. The company that we have selected is Solar City, a renewable energy company. And taking a look at their comparables, all of them create renewable energy sources as well. When selecting what comparables you should use in your valuation, you want to take a look at consumers. Are they targeting the same customers? Their size, do they have relatively same financials, same revenues, etc.? And lastly, you want to look at how long they've been around. Are they just a similar company to the one that you're analyzing? Are they in the same industry? Firms who are not directly comparable to the firm that you have selected are not going to provide much value, and we want to get rid of them from our valuation. Taking a look at all of these, there is one outlier, and that is Shanghai Automobile. This firm does create renewable energy sources, but they also manufacture automobile parts. Not a very similar customer to Solar City, so that's strike one. Secondly, let's take a look at their financials. Their EBITDA, way higher than the rest of these companies. Next 12 months EBITDA, last 12 months sales, next 12 months sales, all way different than not only the company we selected, but also other firms in the industry. So it's a great idea to just get rid of Shanghai Automobile from your comps valuation. You don't want anything to skew your valuation, so let's get rid of that. We're left with firms which are similar and they are great comparables. Some like, EBITDA, for example, two of these firms, they are a bit different than our selected firm, but other than that, they're relatively very similar. So we're going to keep these companies for the sake of our valuation. It's good to have, 3 or 4 comparable companies when completing a comps valuation. So the template that I've provided, only the numbers highlighted in blue will you need to input manually. The rest, which are in black, will be auto-populated. Equity value, enterprise value, and then all of these multiples. So you want to grab these numbers from FactSet, Yahoo Finance. If you've watched our other videos on DCFs, all of these numbers are readily available, and you do need to input them into this comps valuation. Once you do so, it's going to auto-populate these multiples. So what these multiples do is allow you to compare other companies in the industry to value the company that you have selected. A great analogy that I was taught was using houses as an example. So let's say you put your house up on the market and you want to know how much to value your house at. Now you can take a look at your neighborhood and look at the last house that was sold, but it cannot be a direct comparison. The house might be a different size, for example. So what metrics can we use to compare another house to your house? An example being dollar per square foot. You could take the purchase price of a house that was sold, divide it by its square footage to get $1 per square foot. You then apply that multiple to the square footage of your house to see an estimate of what your house is worth. Now, it's important to say that a comps valuation is an estimate. It will not give you an exact value of what the company should be, but it just gets you in that ballpark. This is very beneficial for a football field valuation, which we'll make a video on in the future. This is just another tool to add to your toolkit when valuing a company. So let's take a look at these multiples. How they're created is very simply EV over sales. You take their enterprise value, divide them by their last 12 months sales. EV over EBITDA, you do the exact same thing. Enterprise value divided by the company's EBITDA. This will all be auto-populated for you when you input the numbers in blue. So once you have all of these multiples, it's really important that we take the average or the median of them all. This is because if we just use one company to do a comps valuation, in this case, EV over EBITDA, it's really important we take the average of all the companies in the industry without selecting one, as you're now introducing some systematic risk, and it's just a better idea. Play it safer to use the average instead. So all of these multiples will be taking the average or the median, right? Now it's your turn to either select should you use the average or the median. Let's say, for example, that here we go. We'll do price to sales. Median is about half what the average is. Let's say the average was 20 because it was skewed by one of these outlier competitors up here. You'd have two choices. The first is to remove the competitor completely, but if only one of their valuation multiples is skewed, you could leave the competitor in there and then just switch this to median instead. Okay? Once you've selected whether you want to use the average or the median, you're going to look down here and all of these are going to auto-populate and give you implied value per share. This is an implied share price. It's very simple how this is calculated. We're just taking the average, in this case, we're doing the average multiple of the industry and applying that to our selected firm's sales. So what we're doing here is we're taking our comparable companies' multiples, averaging them out, and then applying that multiple to our selected company. And what this gives us is an implied enterprise value. Do you kind of see what we're doing here? We're using our company's last 12 month sales, applying what the industry's enterprise value on average is higher or less than, and then applying that to our sales to get our own estimated enterprise value. Of course, we do have access to what our company's actual enterprise value is. In this case, it's $2.9 billion. So it's not exactly, but it's an estimate. It's in the ballpark. We then subtract our company's net debt to get our market value, divide that by the number of outstanding shares, which is 98 million, to get our implied share price. Okay, so relatively simple, but as you can see, it gives a share price of $12. That is nowhere near what our company's actual share price is. And that's why you don't use just one valuation metric, use multiple. For this template, we are using 6. The more the merrier, of course. And when you average out all of these share prices, if you look, we have a $10, we have a $38, right? They're in the relatively ballpark. Nothing's absurd. If something is absurd, then you can remove it from the comp's valuation. Let's scroll over here and we'll see what the average of our share prices gives us. So as you can see, the average of our 6 share prices that we calculated using our comp's valuation gives us a number incredibly similar to what the current share price actually is. Now, when you complete your comp's valuation, it might not be this similar. It might be $1 or $2 off. That's okay. If it's more than 30%, 25% off, then I would take a look at your comp's valuation. You should be removing a competitor. You should be tweaking the average or the median. You should have about a 20% error rate, a margin of error when using a comp's valuation. So that is a rundown of how to complete a comp's valuation and why you'd want to complete one. There is a template listed in the description of this YouTube video, this template right here, where you can input your companies, the shares, share price, and all of this information in order to calculate what the share price of your selected company should be. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you now understand why and how you should complete a comp's valuation, and you can add it to your valuation toolkit the next time you want to value a company. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. This has been Jack Lyon from ML Capital. Have a great day.